Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Jaya Gauranita 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 Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Igor Premanande, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramam Pariyajagara Stotra Sada Srimad Grace Abhay Charnar Vinde Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramam Pariyajagara Stotra Sada Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki I Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for coming this morning, Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 56th chapter, verses from 33 to 35, 36. So first we'll chant the verse which is on the board, 33. Just word to word mean first. Adristva Nirgamam Sureya Pavitrasya Palim Janaha Prakritasya Dvadishashani Dukhaitaha Swam Puram Yayayuhu Adristva Nigamam Sureya Pavitrasya Balim Janaham Patrikasya Dvadadasyainaha Dukkainita Swapuram Yayuhu Adristva Nigam Saruye Pavitrasya Balim Janaham Prakritasya Dvadishyahani Dukkhahita Swampuram Yuhum Adistva Nigamam Saruihim Pavitrasya Balim Jana Prakritasya Dvadashashani Dukkhahitaha Swayam Puram Yahu. Please chant. Adristva Nigamam Saure Pavitrasya Balim Jana Pratikyastva Dvadidashani Slukitaha Swapuram Yahu Adristva Nigamam Saure Pavitrasya Bilam Janaham Pratishwadadashani Dukita Swaridam. आदृष्ट्वा निगं सौरे पवित्रस्याबिलम् पिता स्वयं आदृष्ट्वा निगं सौरे पवित्रस्याबिलं जना दृष्ट्वा दशरथानि लिखित्वा स्वपुरं यौ आदृष्ट्वा निगमं सौरे प्रविष्टस्त्वबिलं जना दृष्ट्वा दशरथानि लिखित्वा स्वपुरं यौ. Thank you very much. What word meaning? Adhistva, not seeing. Nigamam, the exit. Saurihi, of Lord Krishna. Pravitasya, who had gone inside. Balim, the cave. Jana, the people. Pratikshasya, after waiting. Dvadvisva, 12. Ahini, days. Dukkitaha, unhappy. Swa, there. Puram, to the city. Yahu, went. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. After Lord Suri had entered the cave, the people of Dwaraka who had accompanied him had waited 12 days without seeing him come out again. Finally, they had given up and returned to their city in the great sorrow. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinani. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. So today we see this verse which describes about the Lord's activity. Before we get into discussion from 33 to 36, we'll just check the background of this story. Actually, the background of this story was uh, Lord, when he asked King Satrajit to give back the jewel, Samantakamani jewel, to the king, though he rejected. In one sense, he disobeyed the orders of his the kings, and also disobeying the orders of the Lord Sri Krishna. We see the result out of what happened. So his brother, Satrajit's brother, he wears the jewelry in his neck and he went to the forest. He goes to the forest. There he was captured by animal or any living entity. We don't know. That's what Dwaraka people are in anxiety, and they are all they are put an allegation that Lord Krishna, like he had an attachment on jewel, Samantakamani jewel, and that's the reason he kidnapped his brother, Satrajit's brother, and stolen from him or even killed. We don't know. So that's the background of this story. So then he, uh, Lord Krishna, after hearing the citizens of his city were talking, there were so many allegations on him that Lord Krishna has stolen this jewel because he has attachment on that particular uh, jewelry. So he took all the citizens of the Dwaraka, most of the main people, not all of them, few main members of the city. So he goes to the forest and he went to the. This is a particular verse. Today's particular verse is described about the when he Lord enters the cave. For 12 days he's been not seen. So they were waiting 12 days. What is happening inside? We they don't know. The 12 days, we know that from the description of Srimad Bhagavatam, he was fighting with Jambavan. We know that he has got a great strength. He's one of the Chiranjiva. Chiranjiva means like living eternally on this earthly planet. There are, I guess, seven Chiranjivas, right? Seven Chiranjivas. Like one is Parshuram, another is Hanuman, and another is Jambavan, and Vibhishan, Vyasdev, Bali Maharaj. Yeah, these are all the people, and another Markandeya Rishi. Yeah, these are all the people who live eternally in this planet. Like, that's why they're called Chiranjiva. That's why in Indian tradition, if any youngsters, any young person take the blessings of his senior or his grandfather or father, they'll bless Chiranjiva, right? Because they live eternally. That means at least they should live 100 years. You know, it is very difficult nowadays in the disease age because of we see one by one disease are coming. We don't know we may live Chiranjeeva or not, but at least these people are a Chiranjeeva. And one more person just came into my mind. Ashwadhama. So Ashwadhama is also Chiranjeeva. The these people they got the boon, and also they're living in this earthly planet without seeing anybody's human eyes, as they cannot seen by any ordinary person. They can only seen by extraordinary persons. For example, one time Madhvacharya, he wrote a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, sorry, not Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, to get approved by some authority. He goes to the all the way to the North India, which is very far, where he is staying in South India. From South India to North India, he jumps, mountain after mountain. He because he's a Madhvacharya, he's incarnation of Vayu Bhima Madhva, and his incarnation is very powerful incarnation of Bhishma Dev, sorry Bhima Dev, Bhima. So he went there. He goes to the Vyasdev and he shows the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and he gets approved. My point is here, the only extraordinary persons can be seen by extraordinary men, not by ordinary person. So like that, we can understand these people they live eternally. But coming to this particular incident, Jambavan is also one of the Chiranjiva. So he got a curse from uh, Mount Meru. Once he was doing parikrama for when Lord Vaman Dev appeared in this earthly planet, when he subdued Bali Maharaj. At that time, he was very young and energetic, and he was circumambulating Vaman Dev, like we circumambulate Tulsi Maharaj every day in the morning. Similarly, he was circumambulating Vaman Dev, so incarnation of the Lord. So while circumambulating, his toe was touching Mount Meru. While he was touching, so the Mount Meru got upset with that activity, and he got cursed. Now you are thinking, you are very strong and you live eternally, and you don't care for me, and you've been kicking from so he got upset that, and he cursed the Jambavan to become old. So from that point he became old, and uh, that was a curse he was got from Mount Meru. So from that time he was started becoming old, but he never lose his strength. Imagine, uh, he's fighting with Lord Krishna for continuously 12 days without a break, without any single break. No. We see that Bhima also he fought with Jarasandha, I guess 10 days or 18 days. He fought with Jarasandha, like when he went to Jarasandha's kingdom in the Brahmins, uh, what you call Brahmanas uh, dressing. So he went to Jarasandha. He asked for the boon, what boon you like to have. So he went disguised way. He went in a Brahmana state. Brahmanas wearing cosmetic, and he and himself and he and Lord Krishna. He approached Jarasandha asking for a boon for fighting for, I think, 12 to 15 days, I guess. Huh? 15 days. 15 days. Yeah, 15 days. There we see that Bhima was they were fighting in the daytime. In the nighttime they're behaving like a friends. But here in this case, Jambavan was continuously fighting. There is no break. At least they are having break sometime in the night. But here is there is no break. They might be they decided we should not take a break until we break. So they were fighting 12 days. Here my point is, uh, Jambavan, how powerful he is, living entity, how powerful the personality is. He is giving a battle to the Lord Krishna himself for continuously 12 days. So here we see that residents of Dwaraka, they were waiting outside of the cave, and they were fighting. Here we learn one lesson. When the battle happens, king should take the responsibility, he should lead first. Whereas we see in this material world, the great leaders, great soldiers, or great achievers, they will say take the back seat. They will all send innocent soldiers to the front to die in the war. Whereas here, Lord Krishna is a king. He is saying his citizens, there might be danger inside the cave. Please, you all please stay outside the cave. Wait for me. I will go inside and I will deal with that. Because this is the responsibility of the leader. So leader should take the responsibility of his members. Here we see in this, whenever war happens, the big leaders will take the back seat. They will send all innocent soldiers. So this is the ideal king example where Lord Krishna is showing us when something happen, disaster happen, war comes up, the leader should come front and should stand, not in other way. Leader will go back and he will send his all innocent people in front, let them die. The king actually, Lord Krishna, would have taken them inside, but king, as ideal behavior, he showed that there might be a danger. You please stay outside. So while staying outside for 12 days continuously, they became sorrow, and they started lamenting what happened to the maybe Lord Krishna, and with a great sorrow they went back to the city. So this is the first 33 verse, and I'll read 34, 35, and 36. Coming to 34, when Devaki, Rukmini Devi, Vasudeva, and the Lord's other relatives and friends heard that he had not come out of the cave, they all lamented. Text 35. Cursing Satyajit, the sorrowful residents of Dwaraka approached the Durga deity named Chandrabhaga and prayed to her for Krishna's return. Text 36. When the citizens had finished worshipping the demigoddess, she spoke to them in response, promising to grant their request Just then, Lord Krishna, who had achieved his purpose, appeared before them in the company of his new wife, filling them with joy. So, here we see everybody in the city of Dwaraka, Devaki, Rukmini Devi, his wife, Devaki was mother, and Vasudeva his father, Lord Krishna, Lord's relatives, friends. They heard that he had not come out of, after many days. They were lamenting because they love Krishna so much. It is a natural um, affection between the son and mother, and the wife and husband, and their relatives and the friends. If you are not being seen for your friend for at least many years, or you may naturally feel that affection, right? Because here we see Lord Krishna, and also peoples in Dwaraka are also lamenting. Here there is a one lesson we need to learn, that in this material world, if some leader is gone, there are two kinds of people. One kind of people who will be lamenting, another kind of people they will be happily enjoying festival, or they will celebrating themselves because they don't like the leader, or they don't like the policy of the leader, or they don't like his activity, maybe the various conditions. They see that, oh, now this leader is gone, we will be celebrate our happiness. So that's people. But in Dwaraka city, we don't see such people like that. There are some rumors that saying that Lord Krishna might stolen. That's why we should always uh, keep keep center Krishna. We should not do anything for the public. When you do only for the public may like it, may not like it. If in the one person, like 100 men's, if one person doesn't like any activity, he may have the capacity to spoil the all other people's mind. So that's why we should always give best to the humanity. Especially Prabhupada gave best to the humanity. He is a leader. He was a leader, and he was an organization leader, and he gave the best to the humanity. He never gave anything which is related to the material thing. Here we see the men in the material world, people, politicians. They will offer only food, shelter, clothing, which is okay, which is basic needs of the people. But at the same time, what is ultimate benefit? We should offer that. Unless until you don't offer anybody ultimate benefit, they're going to keep asking you something for a better, or they're going to curse you, or they are not very happy what you are doing. Imagine if you are a leader, you are doing for your members, giving them shelter, giving them food, giving them all kinds of necessity. Still, they don't be happy because the main thing is Krishna consciousness. Unless until you don't give Krishna consciousness, they are not going to be happy. That's why it says Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. So every living entity has got a particular specific special relationship with the Lord. As preachers of Krishna consciousness, as members of Krishna consciousness, our main endeavor, our duty should be preaching Krishna consciousness to them. Even though in the beginning they may not take it fully, they may not appreciate fully, but start giving them little bit Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there will be always people who don't like you, even though you may be the influencer, big leader, big whatever in facility, whatever you may facilitate them, however you may accommodate them due to their needs, but the only ultimate benefit you can give them Krishna consciousness. We see that in the purport, in the translation, they were cursing Sacharajit. Before that, what they were thinking, they put an allegation that Krishna might stolen. So when the people minds change very quickly, they don't know what is the reality. They think that, oh, he might have done this mistake. After coming to the reality, they know, oh, then he is the person cause for all these things. So they blame simply because Why this tendency is there, blaming tendency? Because people, they don't have the shastric knowledge. Because when the person have a shastric knowledge, when he is pure in consciousness, he can understand. He will not immediately react to the situation. He will respond to the situation. If a person, for example, you see that somebody is doing some a wrong thing. For example, I can give you, if a books distributor going into the bar, a person saying, another devotee, another member of this society is the, oh, so and so person, he went to the bar on the other day. He's breaking one of the regulative principles. We should, not talk to him. Did this immediately? This rumor spread everywhere, and later when he comes to know, oh, he went to preach there. We didn't see that he might be not be in dhoti kurta, he might be not wearing tilak, he might be not carrying any books, he might be having one book in his pocket. So he went to preach somebody in the bar. When the person came to know, then he will say, no, 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 that person so and so devotee went to the bar to preach. So till that time he would have spoiled all the people's mind. And poor that devotee, he went to preach, he got an allegation that he went to the bar, he break one of the regulative principles. So before understanding anything, we should not jump to the conclusion. That's my point. So when you understand something, then you stand by that, then you can able to judge. That's why it's saying, don't judge the book by its cover, because you should not judge any person by its behavior, by his behavior. We should take a back step and think. Otherwise, like people, they were cursing Krishna for killing Satyajit brother, and after they come to know reality, they were cursing Satyajit. It is like this. So in the text 36, we see that citizens of Dwaraka, they've started worshipping a demigoddess, which is Chandrabhaga. And one may ask, why citizens of Dwaraka, they were worshipping the demigoddess. It is said that we should not worship any demigods in our scriptures, and we should not do any offerings. But at the same time, cities of Dwaraka are not following this rule. We may see that this breaking of the rule, but again, there is a mention. We see that gopis of Vrindavan, they were also worshipping Katyayani. For what? For getting the Krishna as a husband. So we can pray for the demigods. It's not that we should not disrespect any demigod, even though he may be very significant demigod. There are 300 million demigods in this, it is mentioned in the Shastras. There is a each demigod is in charge of one particular thing. For example, for our eyes, there is one demigod. To blink our eyes, we need cooperation with the demigod. To lift our hand, we need cooperation with the demigod. If we don't have a cooperation with that particular demigod, then we cannot move our bodily functions. Imagine the peoples of Dwaraka, they were started worshipping of Chandrabhaga goddess to retrieve the Krishna's back. So that is a meaning we should understand. We should not understand that, okay, peoples are Dwaraka, they are also worshipping. We can also start worshipping any demigod which we like. No. Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatrika Vidim Vina, Anaitika Harir Bhaktir, Utpata Eva Kalpate. When you don't follow Shruti, Shastra, Smriti from the Acharyas, Puranadi, Pancharatrika Vidim Vina, without without the foundation of this Shruti Smriti, if you do any kind of a devotional service, which is going to be havoc. Utpata eva kalpate. So that is the meaning of this verse. So we should understand that the peoples of Dwaraka, even though they were worshipping, even though they are praying any demigoddess, they had a proper knowledge. They had a proper understanding who is, what is their relationship. So now we see the purports of the various acharyas for the text 33 and 33, 34 and 35, 36. So for the coming to the 33, Jiva Goswami comments on this verse. Thinking of Vasudeva and others, the people thought that it was not proper to stay longer. Those close to the Sacharajit returned to the city, though the inhabitants of Dwaraka were grieved because they were not intimately associated with Krishna. They returned to his city. Rather, they stay at the cave he had entered. So people who have returned to the city, Srila Jiva Goswami commenting that they were not city, they were not people of Dwaraka, they were people who are associating with Satrajit. So here Jiva Goswami giving the details. Detail is a sign of the love. Srila Prabhupada says, when you do detailly, that is a sign of the love. You just do for the sake of doing, that is not for love. Okay, we do deity worship, okay, we do chanting, okay, for sake of doing. If you do like that, there is no sign of love. If you do attentively chanting, attentively hearing, attentively doing any service which you have given, that is sign of love. That's why Jiva Goswami giving the detail. The people of Dwaraka which are returned, they were inhabitants. They were, though they were not inhabitants of Dwaraka, they were closely associated with the Satyajit. And text 34, Devi can modify Devaki and Rukmini and indicates that they were worthy of worship. They are mentioned first because of their great prema and represents of highest Shakti. Vasudeva and others are mentioned afterwards because of lesser prema. Subhada means Subhada can mean relatives or friends. So here in 34th verse also, why particular person's name is mentioned first? Why particular name is mentioned in the end or in the middle or in the last? That is also there is a name. For example, last time I mentioned, when we finished Kirtan, we will say Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Rajakarya Stotra Sata Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Why not किशोर किशोरी की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, और द्वारका धाम की जय, मधुरा धाम की जय? Why not that sequence? Because here is sequence mentioned, because in that sequence if you go through, then you can able to achieve the mercy of the Lord. It is not that, oh, maybe writer of the Srimad Bhagavatam like Mother Devaki or Rukmini Devi, that's why he mentioned first. And he didn't like the Vasudeva and Devaki, sorry, Vasudeva and others, because he mentioned in the second. And he didn't like any, he didn't care about his friends and relatives. That's why he mentioned last. No, it's not like that. First, they mentioned mother's name, then wife's name, because mother and first when the son is in danger, first person who is will be anxiety and lamenting, mother, and second wife, second third relatives, husband, sorry, relatives, father, other friends, because mother has such love. Srila Prabhupada says one time, in this material world there is no love except mother's love. We see the boy, between the love between boy and girl, it's only lust, it's only attraction for a few days. The only real love we see is only mother. That's why it is mentioned here. And he's giving different meaning, also different, what you call it, different degree of prema. The mother and Devaki and the Rukmin, they have a highest prema. That's why he mentioned first. And Vasudeva and other mentioned afterwards because they have less prema. And relatives and friends, they have mentioned because they have less prema. But don't compare that prema. Maybe we should not speculate, okay, Vasudeva has less prema, means I have more prema. Not like that. That degree of prema is entirely different. But according to the Jiva Goswami comment, it is mentioned. So then 36th verse. They approached the Durga because they were absorbed in their roles as ordinary people, just as the Lord himself acted as an ordinary person. They approached her for the quick attainment of Krishna. And Sanatana Goswami comments, Devaki and others, all of them taking Krishna as their very life. All the people approached Durga for attaining Krishna quickly. The form of bliss. Being a special Shakti of Lord, she could do this. So here also we see the demigod respond very quickly. They because they are in always meditation of the Lord. If somebody is disturbing them, they give immediately benefit. They don't care about you know they don't care about who you are, what you are asking, whatever, just like they give benefit immediately. They don't care what is happening. For example, uh, if you go and ask your neighbor, oh, can I have a cigarette? Out of his neighbor, they will give cigarette, or they will give any kind of intoxication, because they don't care about your health or your character or anything. They don't care, because for them you are just a neighbor. Out of neighbor relationship, you are staying beside their house, or any in terms of relatives also. If you go and ask relative, can I have some alcohol, can I have some drug, or can I have some cigarette, can I have some this, they will immediately grant, because they don't care for your real benefit. Whereas the same thing, if you go and ask your father, before asking itself you will get shivering. Whoa, why should I ask? Even money also, if you go and ask your father, can I have $100? Immediately the question comes, why? For what? The same thing if you ask the person who is living beside your house, neighbor house, they will. You can go ask him, sir, can I have $100 bill for a loan? I can return you back, and immediately he will give you. He don't ask any question. What you are asking? What you want to do with the $100? They don't ask. Similarly, demigods are also. Like we see that Lord Shiva is often attracted by all the Rakshasas, demons, because the demons, they easily approached by Lord Shiva. He was very pleased. Lord Shiva is another's name is Bholanath. He was very pleased. Ashtosh, he is very pleased. So you go on meditation. There is some kind of vow you take for 30 days or 15 days. I will eat only once in the morning. I will not eat so many things. I will do fasting. Whatever your desire, that get fulfilled. The consequences of that desire, you need to face that. They don't take that. You ask something, okay, I want to become a millionaire. Immediately you do some vrata, some take some austerity, do some for 30 days or 20 days, you will become millionaire. And the consequences of becoming millionaire: headache, anxiety, worry, no sleep in the nights, no eating proper food because of health. These are all the consequences. You need to take it. But they will not take it, because you are disturbing them. They will give them. It is like simple another logic. You are doing japa, Hare Krishna, somebody will ask, oh, can I have this? Okay, it is there, you can go take. Immediately you will say, you don't disturb your japa. Similarly, Lord Shiva and Brahma, they are all doing meditation on Supreme Lord. Immediately they grant the boon. My point is here that don't my point is that to approach demigod get quick benefit. No, my point is here that even though you have material desire, you can still approach Supreme Lord. There is a verse, akamo sarvakamobhya moksha kama udarata tivrena bhakti yogena yajetam purusham param. Like classic example is uh, Dhruva Maharaj. He went for the Lord for what? For attaining the kingdom. But at the same time, he got Krishna Prema also, eternal kingdom in Dhruva planet. So whatever you have a desire, but you should do Trivirena Bhakti Yogena. When you do Trivirena Bhakti Yogena, two things will happen. One, you realize that whatever you are asking is insignificant, two, you will get Krishna Prem. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he went for the Lord for what material benefit? He want just a kingdom. It is nothing like I want to become a big man in the society. I want to become a great leader. I want to become a millionaire. After seeing the Lord, he don't know how to pray, and Lord put conchal on his head. Then he got realization. Then he got enlightenment. Then he prayed. Then he realized that whatever I'm praying is an insignificant, like pieces of glass. So while doing austerity, we can understand that Krishna gives you the ultimate benefit. At the same time, he will give you the benefit which you have material desire also. Whereas we see in the other case, Bali Maharaj, he has also desire, material desire to rule over all the planet and develop everything. So for that purpose, he did that sacrifice when Lord Vamandev came there, and he took everything whatever he has, and again he gave everything, and he gave the at what you call it, Patala Lokam, and he gave the kingdom there, and he was standing the doorkeeper. After one kalpa or many kalpas, then he will become Indra. That's the boon he was asking. So with what consciousness? With the purified consciousness, with Krishna consciousness, he was achieving. So my point is here, whenever you ask any benefit of the Lord, you should ask Supreme Lord, not any other demigods, any other thing. He will give you the whatever the material desire also. At the same time, he will give you the ultimate benefit also. And the text 36 we see after the this Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jiva Goswami comments both. Within the granting the blessings of Krishna will appear soon. Krishna appeared along with his wife. Something Instead of sometimes the word avisya is seen in this verse. Then this verse means that granting the blessings of Krishna, who was very dear as life to everyone, he appeared. So Srila Vishwan Chakravarti Thakur gives a meaning for each verse. Krishna will appear, and also he will also do the needful, uh, and also he will appear very soon and granting the blessings of the demigod. And Jiva Goswami comments the word to indicate that expectational circumstances. By worshipping the devatas, the Lord does not appear to the ordinary peoples. It is said that Deva Yajo Yanti, worshippers of the devatas attain the devatas. However, when the people of Dwaraka worshipped Durga, Krishna appeared. In worshipping her, the people had only prema for Krishna, okay, who himself acted in the pastime with an appearance of ordinary dealings. Durga attained the qualification by the relationship with them. Whatever the blessing she gave came true. Krishna's goal was to retrieve the jewel, gave the mercy to Jambavan, win Jambavanti as a bride, and refute the Sitrajit's claim he had attained these goals. He appeared with his wife suddenly. Thus, it is possible that he may came on Garuda also. So here, Srila Jiva Goswami comments that Krishna does one thing, all other things were achieved. That's the purpose. Krishna, when he had allegation on him that he stole the Chotrajit jewel Samantakmani. He accomplished the that jewelry back, and he got a new wife, and he got Satyajit's claims was defeated, and other thing, the goddess of Durga, she was also happy, and people of Dwaraka, they were also happy. They had Krishna Prem, and at the same time, uh, what is that? Jambavan, he's also waiting for to have a combat with the Lord. That is also fulfilled. One action does purpose of the Lord fulfill all others. you know, needs. Only Krishna can does that. Any other living person, if you do one activity, it may result in number of disaster. We cannot imitate that. Then Jiva Goswami comments that he might come on Garuda also. That is his commentary. So I think it's very long now, so I can stop here. There is much to discuss, so I will stop here. If you see any questions or comments, otherwise we can close.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu,
Hare
for this
Krishna.
class. Verse number 33 mentions that after 12 days, the associates of Krishna, the citizens of Dwarka, they felt morose. That Krishna is not coming back. He went through the tunnel, and they began cursing. Maybe Satrajit orchestrated something, and
Hmm.
they they seem to forget that Satrajit is ruling or administrating only a part of the kingdom of Dwarka, and Krishna is more powerful. And Krishna, they have seen the prowess and the might, the mighty strength of Krishna, but somehow their love for him, surpasses that, and then they are worshipping Durga Devi for Krishna's protection. So I just want to understand how is this mood developed, that even though he's supreme Lord, but they still feel that love, that sense of personal belongingness. But when we worship Krishna with he's so powerful, then that personal belongingness is, the mood changes. So
Correct. So you see, we see here it is mentioned in the 33 verse or in the later verses, commentary by different acharyas. They approached the Durga because they were absorbed as an ordinary human being in that role, because that Yogamaya, as Sabal Prabhu yesterday was explaining, because Krishna is acting an ordinary role as a human being, and they were also approached the Durga Devi as an just like a people approach. That is one explanation, and another explanation was they approached that not the Durga is so powerful than Krishna, or not that Durga is a supreme goddess of fortune, because they had intense love. Another example is that, see, when Krishna was performing pastimes in Vrindavan, so many demons were attacking him. First Putana, then another Trunavruta, one after another. Each time we see Mother Yashoda, she goes to the Vishnu and prays. She's chanting different mantras to protect their child. What is that means? So they were covered by the Krishna's potency, Yogamaya. Just like, for example, we are having a play. Imagine Nityananda Trayodasi is coming next week. Imagine there is a drama role going on. Like you were playing, you know, Lord Nityananda, I were playing Jagai Madai. And in the during the drama, you play your role perfectly. You don't say, hey Navin Krishna, you don't take that name. You say, hey Jagai, what you are doing? You chant holy name. Because you are playing the drama there. Similarly, we can understand here they are playing the pastime. They would have gone, they would have, Dwaraka people, they would have relaxed. Oh, Krishna is Supreme Lord. He will come anyway. We will, sit in the palace, have a nice time. This is all pastime. This is all part of the pastime. We should not love it. There is no rasa. You see what is my point? They are all playing the drama. Even though Jagai Madai, they were Jay and Vijay. If Jay and Vijay, they were cursed as a demons for 3 lifetimes, so they took the Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Then when Lord Nrsimhadev came, then Hiranyaksha, sorry, Hiranyakashipu would have said, oh my lord, come kill me, I will come, because I was waiting, to kill me. So there is no rasa in that. They had a fight, they had a, they had nothing, they has to kill that demon and tore that stomach and wear the instrument. That's why worshipping the pastime for us, that is another way of seeing. And because to show that, even though if you have any, because there's a very one important thing is they know that, but they were playing the role of ordinary human people. That doesn't mean that we should also take it as a granted worshipping anything. One time, uh, Srila Prabhupada was asked by his disciple, say that, Prabhupada, when we have on our altar Lord Ganesha, so that we'll get more money, we can expand our organization, we can expand our preaching work. I heard that Lord Ganesha is so powerful, he gives very boon very fastly. And Prabhupada said, you know first sun enters, Lord Ganesha enters, then Lord Shiva enters, then Parvati enters, whole family will be on the altar, Krishna will be outside of the altar. Then again another condition Srila Prabhupada put, that, so I don't have any problem putting Ganesha on the altar, but I need X millions of dollar for every month. Do you guarantee that for every month I will get so much X amount of donation for every month? Then that disciple took back, said, no, no, Prabhupada, I cannot do that. Because Prabhupada's approach and our Acharya's approach is to show the life, show the how to lead the worship the Supreme Lord. That's why we should not speculate anything. The Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatrika Vidin Vina, Anaitika Harirbhaktir, Utpata Eva Kalpite. So without understanding the proper mode and proper understanding of the demigod's role, we cannot do that. As we cannot imitate something as Dwaraka people. It doesn't mean that we should not respect. It doesn't mean that we should neglect. It doesn't mean that we should not disrespect demigod. If you see any demigod, please pray for him, praying that please offer me Krishna Prem. That's a benefit you should put. In one sense, they were also asking Krishna to come back. They were not asking something else. They were asking Krishna. You see this point? Other than that, they don't ask, okay, no, no, please protect Krishna. He's less powerful. He's an ordinary. No, not like that. We want to see Krishna. That intimacy, that love should do that. I hope this answers. If anybody has commentary also, you can also comment. And
You had highlighted the fact that the citizens moved from one opinion to the next opinion, and so you were pointing to how easy it is for the public
correct.
to actually jump to conclusions, basically, usually based on inadequate information. So it seems to have implications for somebody in a leadership position. So Krishna took it upon himself because it was casting a shadow on his reputation to actually expose the truth. So I suppose drawing from that, there's this question that comes: to what extent leaders have to actually reveal the truth, because constantly the public
Correct.
is having is moving from one opinion to the next opinion, uh, and often it is causing a leader to look to appear in a very poor light.
Right.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
I can only comment. This is a very tricky one. One thing we should have confident on, trust on Lords. Another thing is sincerity of the leadership. You may see that leaders is doing something, actions, the actions meant different, and the people's opinion going on in different negative words are spreading around. But at the same time, leader should be have a open-mindedly, speaking to him, at least to his spiritual master or his mentor, that people may think that okay, this leader is doing so many certain things, allegations, black and white opinions, but leader should be patient. That's one of the quality, to be patient. People may think that any kind, because there we cannot control others mind. It is difficult to control our own mind sometimes. We cannot control people's mind, we cannot control their words, we cannot control their actions, but we can control ourselves. We can have a trust in the Lord till the till the truth get reveals. Just we need to be patient. Krishna being patient, he's showing for an example for us. He was patient for many times. In the Shishupal's case, he was taking that from Shishupal's bad words for 100 times. After 100 times, he said will be chopped off. If a person is saying, imagine Supreme Lord having that patience. If you meditate on that pastime, and then naturally the same potency will also come to you. Like, for example, if somebody says to me, today morning was class was not good, immediately I'll get hurt. For small things, you'll get hurt. To not to have that, to not to get into that space, that's why these pastimes are important. Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord, Supreme Controller, all powerful, almighty, everything, all, he controlled anger for 100, for for having Shishupal's bad words. Why can't we control something? That that mode, if you get into that mode, then naturally you'll get patience will increase. Otherwise, if you even do a little some mistakes, if you even do, you put so much energy and time making something wonderful, but there'll be always one person saying opposite to that. If you do nice kirtan, there'll be always some person, oh, you should have seen that tune. If you give nice class putting so much energy, oh, you missed that point. If 100 people, imagine in 100 people one person says something that will remain in our mind. 99 people, even though appreciate, that will not remain in our mind, because that's the nature of our mind. So my point is that mind has become so much negativity, the association of the negative energy. So it became like that. Even one point it says that this is not good, and whole 99 people they said that, oh, your class is good, your class is good. One person says that you missed that verse, you don't know how to pronounce it, Sanskrit verse, then that will remain. So not to get into that space, not to get into that mode, we should also meditate on the past times. Like Krishna has tolerated Shishupal. Krishna has tolerated people in the city of Dwaraka or Satyajit, remember. In one sense, Krishna would have, thought in his mind, without going to the forest, taking all the trouble, taking all the peoples of Satyajit men, going to the forest, 12 days fight. He should have thought in his mind, just by his willingness, there will be another Samantamani jewel appeared in his hand. Correct? But he is showing that we should leaders should be patient enough till the truth get revealed. Krishna will always give you best thing. For that we need to be patient. Otherwise, if people may say so many things, if you immediately react to that, then there will be no question of no patience in our mind. Just like you take the ordinary water bottle, like Bisleri water bottle, and if you use water bottle, or take any soda can, if you shake soda, immediately open, it is going to come. Whereas ordinary water bottle, you, no matter how many times you shake, if you open, it doesn't make any sound. So remain in neutrality, so that don't get lose your anger or any patience or any, don't come out. That's why you should not react to the situation, you should respond to the situation. This is my thought. I may be wrong. So anything else? Okay, we'll stop here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada